You are now listening to the Jay Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay!
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the Jay Porks Experience. Take a guess who I am. I am Jay Porks. With me, as always, on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine. Extremely well-oiled. Every week, the ever-popular Nobody. Okay. Got a few things to get to. As John Oliver would say, a quick recap of the week. But, first, as I did last week, let's start it off with a big rest in peace. And this week it's going out to Sam Simon, co-creator of The Simpsons. Now, if you want to get a glimpse of who Sam Simon is, there's Matt Groening, who drew The Simpsons, James L. Brooks, who developed the series, and the third of the big three is Sam Simon. He left the show after 4 seasons, and according to this article, in a lucrative deal that allowed him to be paid up until the final stages of his life. Actually, over this past year, since Sam Simon was diagnosed with cancer and he knew he was terminal, he was giving away all his money. I mean, he had so much, he had to give it away. Giving it all away. None of it found my pocket. But rest in peace, Sam Simon. Huge part of my childhood, The Simpsons. My childhood, and what should be everyone's childhood. So it's on FX all the time, so you should check it out. Where am I? Okay. It's Tuesday. Feels a little different. Why does it feel different? Because there's no more New Music Tuesday. They've moved the international day to release albums to Friday. So now, when I wake up on Tuesday to record the podcast, there's not going to be new songs out. Albums aren't going to be dropping on Tuesday. And I'm sure you're wondering, like I am, what does this mean? Well, Billboard reports that after 7 months of negotiations, the record industry has decided that it will release albums across the world on Fridays, starting this summer. This will completely change the way music is distributed and reformat the charts for everyone. It could also be the key to combating international piracy problems. Good luck on that last one. Why were albums released on Tuesdays? This is something I want to know. So I'm glad that this article on Vox.com is going to answer this for me. There is literally no good reason for albums to be released on Tuesdays. The United Kingdom and France release albums on Mondays, and the Germans and Australians have been releasing albums on Fridays for some time. In the United States, albums have been released on Tuesdays since the 1980s. Before that, whenever a record arrived at a store, employees just put it on the shelf. What that meant was that some artists had a clear advantage over others, depending on when their album arrived. Creating a standard day evened the playing field. Tuesday is also a date that is firmly rooted in a culture that printed, recorded, shipped, unboxed, and bought items in their physical form. So Tuesday is the best day to buy things? When albums weren't digital downloads, they require a lot of manpower. By placing the release date on Tuesday, record labels had the entire weekend to ship new inventory across the country to record stores. And stores had a full non-weekend day, Monday, to unpack albums and prepare the store for shelving. Sounds like it makes sense. Why are we changing it to Friday? Let me finish off this little thing here. For artists, the benefit of releasing an album on the standard American Tuesday release date is that it makes your album sales look better. Billboard creates the top album and single charts every week. Those are published on Wednesday, and track sales are from Tuesday to Tuesday. Hence, New Music Tuesday. And I'm going to move down here because they started talking about Beyonce, and I'm not about that life. So why is the date changing? In short, piracy. Wow. So the pirates have won, if you're changing things. When albums came out on different days in different countries pre-internet, it didn't matter. Someone in Germany might read a review in an international newspaper about a US release and simply wait 4 days to buy the album in their own country. But now, the world is smaller, connected by the internet, and more impatient. As soon as an album is released, it can be uploaded and illegally shared around the world. Quote, music fans live in the digital world today. Francis Moore, head of the International Federation for the phonographic industry, the group that represents record labels worldwide, wrote in a press release, their love for new music doesn't recognize national borders. They want new music when it's available on the internet, not when it's ready to be released in their country. An aligned global release date puts an end to the frustration of not being able to access releases in their country when the music is available in another country. The idea then is that every single country releases an album on the same exact day, then there will be no need to pirate an album because everyone will have access. This, of course, does not take time zones into account, but it could be something. Okay. I'll have that on the notes. The full article on the notes. Here's how you stop piracy. Did you hear my answer? Did you notice that there wasn't one? You can't stop it. I feel bad like that these artists that write songs, I feel so bad that they're going to have to go on the road and play some of these songs live in order to make some money. I don't care. First of all, honestly, me personally, J motherfucking Porks, I don't download music. I stream it. I don't download music. I don't steal music. Not because of some moral. I don't have any moral standards. It's just I don't have. It's too hard for me. I'll probably download a virus or something. I'm not good with breaking the law. As you can tell by every week I'm praying that they could make me no longer a criminal by legalizing plants. But I have no interest in breaking the law. I don't want to pirate music. Yeah, in 2001, Napster was rocking. And yeah, songs got downloaded. But I don't do that anymore. So when I hear that albums aren't going to be released on Tuesday anymore, that they're going to be released on Friday, and I open up the article and I think that I'm going to read some scientific, explanation for this, they basically said it doesn't matter what day it gets released, so let's just line it up. There's no science to this. Oh, I hope they don't pirate. Trust me, they're going to pirate. They're going to pirate because that's what people do. People steal music. They can't steal your live concert. So go on tour. You kidding me with this? And this is breaking this morning, Tuesday morning. And this is just awesome. So South by Southwest, we're going to be getting a lot of South by Southwest in the next couple of weeks. Annie Quiet has a party, they have a party / showcase, bunch of bands, free pizza. Every week I'm going to be telling you about that when I go through the headlines, so later we'll go through that. But AQ's got a party. Bunch of bands are gonna be playing, and when I say a bunch of bands, I mean like no-name bands, big bands, everyone passing through Austin. Austin is what's happening at the end of March. The end of March, South by. Here's what's going on in the music journalism land right now. Everyone is saving for South by Southwest, and they're getting their wristbands together, and they're RSVPing to all the places they need to be. They're planning out their little what food trucks they're gonna go to and all that stuff. And then they're gonna come back from South by Southwest. They're gonna upload all their videos and photos and reviews and all that stuff to whatever pretentious clickbait websites they work for that have Heineken ads floating in front of your face instead of just giving you the news. And then, as soon as they hit publish on that, they're going to get on a plane and head to Indio, California, and fucking take in Coachella for 3 days. That's what's going to happen before Bonnaroo. So prepare for that. I'm just telling, this is the next couple of months of the music. People like me who fancy themselves music, people like Andy, everything's gonna be South by. See, Andy's lucky. He figured out how to review albums. I can't review albums, so I can't like I physically can. I'm not good at it, and I don't want to waste your time or mine. But like Andy's lucky. He doesn't have to get caught up in the whole news of the week nonsense like I do at times. Remember a couple of years anyway. South by Southwest always has a keynote speaker, somebody giving the keynote speech that kicks off South by Southwest. A couple of years ago, it was Dave Grohl as the mayor of rock and roll, because he had Sound City out. So he puts on the glasses and he does the speech. You know who the keynote speaker is this year? Guess. Okay. This is pre-recorded, so you know who it is already. But Snoop Dogg is the keynote speaker at South by Southwest 2015. Legal weed, here we come. South by Southwest 2015 has officially gotten weird as hell. This writes at Crave Online by Mr. Johnny Firecloud. The keynote speaker for this year's multimedia extravaganza in Austin, Texas will be none other than Snoop Dogg. He joins AWOL Nation, Portugal the Band, Black Pistol Fire, and a slew of others in the music portion of the annual event. Snoop's keynote speech takes place on Friday, March 20th at 11 a.m. in Ballroom A of the Austin Convention Center. I don't want to tell Firecloud he's got two thes right here, but, you gotta do what you gotta do. Snoop Dogg's keynote conversation is open to all music and platinum registrants and registered showcasing artists. See that? That's all that wristband stuff that you got to take care of. See, you can't just go to Austin and think that you're going to walk into all these shows. You got to get wristbands and approval and all that stuff, and you're not supposed to shower for a week or something. I'm not really sure about the showering, but 28,000 people have those wristbands. Let me not call it wristbands because it sounds like a rave. Sounds like we're 15-year-olds at a rave. South by Southwest taking place March 17th to 22nd, 2015. Snoop Dogg. What is he going to talk about? That's crazy. Love it. I fucking love it. Also happening this week. Guys, I'm going to say this again. Noel Gallagher is fucking awesome. And anytime this guy talks, I just love to listen. And by listen, I mean read. Because if I listen to him, I'd probably need to read subtitles. But, this article titled, Noel Gallagher Has No Time for Taylor Swift. And he went off. He went off on a longer interview, and they pieced it together. Each enemy has something, The Guardian has some. Everyone took their favorite quote, and they ran with it. So, over the last few days, Noel Gallagher has been trending on Facebook once again. You know this is foreign when they say trending on Facebook. This time for responding to the suggestion that Taylor Swift is a good songwriter with, "You're fucking lying." She seems like a nice girl, but no one has ever said those words, and you fucking know it. I fucking love this guy. A few weeks ago, he also said of Beyonce, if shaking her ass is for a living is considered art, she's right up there, no? Oh, boy. And other quotes... Noel Gallagher has been hiding from Courtney Love. Noel Gallagher quote, yes, I have been hiding from Courtney Love. That's the headline. Noel Gallagher has reportedly gone to great lengths to avoid Courtney Love over the years, once locking himself in a hotel room to sidestep her rowdiness. The Oasis singer, who is well known for being openly controversial, has turned down the chance to meet the rock artist, but he told NME that decision was a calculated one on his part. I read in an interview that she once said, "I can't fucking believe this. I know everyone in London, and I've never met Noel. Was he hiding from me?" And the answer is yes, he told the publication in an interview. The 47-year-old who is currently on tour promoting and promoting his album Chasing Yesterday said that he had very nearly met Courtney Love two decades ago, but he managed to sidestep the encounter. Quote, "I was in a studio in LA and we were in the back recording 2005 Oasis album Don't Believe the Truth. And reception called us and was like, 'Just to warn you, Courtney Love just walked in.' I knew Liam was running around the reception, and I thought, brilliant, that's a fucking meeting of the minds right there. I could hear her shouting, 'Where's Noel? I gotta meet Noel.' So I grabbed a cig, exited out the back door, and went straight to the motel and locked the door. I was like, I can't be dealing with her rowdiness. Fucking hell, no way. But I applaud her." Applaud her for what? Gallagher has made his views about a number of musicians very clear over the past few months. In January, he bemoaned the state of modern music, slinging out Ed Sheeran as a false example of subversive art in a world of published pop. And last month, he also said he would rather drink petrol straight from the nozzle than listen to Arctic Monkeys frontman Alex Turner talk. With all due respect, Alex Turner doesn't talk for a living. He's like, I don't care what Alex Turner has to say in an interview. So, I know no one is ever gonna be as fun as Noel Gallagher is in an interview. That's amazing. He's actively hiding from Courtney Love, but he applauds her. He didn't say like she sucks. He didn't say he'd rather drink petrol straight from the nozzle than listen to Courtney Love. He's just hiding from her because she's crazy, and he ain't got time for all that. I also read an article, and I couldn't find it this morning. I read an article that Noel Gallagher is trying to bait Liam Gallagher into reuniting Oasis as long as Liam gives up all creative control because he's a quote-unquote fucking psychopath. He's a man with a fork in a world of soup. And that's a quote from Noel Gallagher, and that is great. But I read some article that if Blur decided to tour, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in the world, by the way. If Blur does something, then these brothers are going to get back together and go on tour. Get the fuck out of here. I don't think so. I don't think one thing has anything to do with the other. But Noel did say he was going to call up the lead singer of The Verve, if anything, just to piss off his brother. I love that. I love this guy. Okay, what a R.I.P. New Music Tuesday. I actually got a list here. Speaking of Noel Gallagher, yeah, see, I'm glad I got this list. Speaking of Noel Gallagher, he's got a new album, Chasing Yesterday. It was out 2 weeks ago on iTunes, but fuck iTunes. And iTunes can fucking die a slow, painful death. So I waited. But now it's on Spotify. Again, I'm streaming it, not downloading it. Chasing Yesterday is fucking awesome. It's got this whole laid-back vibe to it. I listened to this album and I'm like, who the fuck needs Oasis? Like, at what point do we just say, okay, this isn't happening? If I had the chance to see Noel Gallagher or Oasis, I don't know, if Noel Gallagher's going to play a couple of Oasis songs, he's got some great songs. I'd rather see Noel Gallagher. You know, I've never seen Oasis. I don't know. If they came around, I'd probably flip out like a fucking little girl, but there's this saxophone running all along the album, just randomly, and it's so amazing. One of the songs, the lyrics is like, I'm trying hard to get there, but I can't afford the bus fare. Noel, you writing this song for me, bro? Me and you? Me and Noah like this. We're both trying to get there, but we can't afford the bus fare. Who thought me and Noel Gallagher were the same? Taylor Swift's a good songwriter. You're fucking lying. That's great. I'm sorry. See, it's not always about the trolling. It's about how you shoot somebody down. See, like, when you go to a message board and you want to battle, like, if you want to get at it with somebody, it's not about winning or losing. Or it's not about... The facts don't necessarily contribute to whether you win or lose that argument. What contributes to it is the punches you throw. Like, instead of saying, I don't believe Taylor Swift is a good songwriter, he said, you're fucking lying. You don't believe that. You gotta applaud stuff like that. Can I get a soul clap? We're gonna have a, even though New Music Tuesday is dead, all my big stories are about new music, so I will get to that in the second half. But real quick, I wanted to get to, before I got into the second half, and if you're gonna send me hate mail about this, let me just say fuck you, okay? Yesterday was March 9th, and everyone was rest in peace, Notorious B.I.G., oh my god, Notorious B.I.G., oh my god. I gotta tell you guys, I'm from Brooklyn. I am from Brooklyn. You're not. You're not from Brooklyn. You're not. I am. Not that good. Sorry, I mean, he's a decent rapper, but, like, he's not. You guys have him and Tupac on the same level, and it's not even. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. This guy has never seen a salad. The guy's he's got a laid-back, cool flow and some good songs. He's not Pac. And I'll take it a step further. You always hear me talking about Big L. You always hear me talking about Big L, and you never hear you talking about Big L. Well, in 1995, Big L came out with a song called MVP on his debut album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. 2 months later, a song by Notorious B.I.G. came out called One More Chance. Listen to those two songs. Tell me who jacked the beat. Because between Big L and Biggie, only one of those guys was hanging out with Puff Daddy at the time. Only one of those parties had the amount of money to know what another rap camp was doing. So in 1993, when Big L came up to the radio station and said, hey, you know what? I know you guys want me to freestyle, but I got my friends Murda Mace and Killer Cam who want to rap, and I'm going to let them shine. And then they became bigger than life. And Big L is still in the hood, and Big L literally stays in the hood to get smoked. That's literally what happened. Who started that Harlem resurgence? You know who started that. So people, Notorious be like, oh, Biggie, give me one more chance. Yeah, we get it. The guy had a couple of good songs, and, I don't want anyone to die, so, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. Sure. But when, on the anniversary of Tupac's death, I didn't see you guys acting like this. And if you moved from, like, Nebraska to Brooklyn, you don't count. You're not a Brooklyn person. If you used to live in Maryland and you've recently moved up to New York, you can't rep Biggie and Bad Boy like that's something you grew up with. You can't. That didn't happen. Those are fables. And I'm not saying the guy sucks, so don't come at me. Don't come at me, bro. I'm not saying the guy sucks. I'm just saying that if you're going to pay respects to every rapper that's deceased, I think more people need to know who Big L is. Go listen to Big L MVP. And he knew it too. Saw Flex a year later, like, see what happened to me, right? Damn. I heard Nas on the radio talking about, I saw it on YouTube, so it's not too old. It's pretty recent. Nas was talking to Funkmaster Flex, and he was talking about how he was scared to death of Big L when he started rhyming. He said Big L was the biggest thing in the world when he came on stage at the Apollo. Biggest thing in the world. Figuratively, not literally like Notorious B.I.G. Before I get to the break, look at me, pretty long. Before I get to the break, and then we're going to come back with headlines. A couple weeks ago, I accidentally turned on Two Broke Girls and got very sad. But don't worry, because Broad City is on. Yes, folks, that's right. I watch Broad City. And you should watch Broad City. If you want to know what real New York is like, not two broke girls who moved to Williamsburg, who aren't actually broke, who have things that they can't afford. Watch Broad City. That's as real as it gets. This girl's selling her clothes so she can replace the thing at work she broke. There's weed. They get on this fucking bus to Connecticut, that one of the Chinatown buses, and the guy's got like chickens on salmon, and they're running fucking game hens state to state. It's real New York. Even if it's not like, even if you don't think it's the best show on TV, watch 2 episodes just because that's what New York feels like. That is the only show right now on TV that has a New York feel. All the other shows based in New York, they don't have a New York feel. Maybe, I don't know if it's because they're not filmed in New York or what. If Broad City isn't filmed in New York, they're doing a pretty good job pretending it is. Like this, they're on the train. I mean, it's real. It's real. Broad City is my new obsession. I'm almost done with it. I watched the whole... since my last podcast, I've almost watched the entirety of Broad City. And if Jonathan Banks doesn't win an Emmy for last night's performance on Better Call Saul, then the Emmys should just stop existing. And we'll come back after this.
Hey everybody, this is Andy from the Andy Dare Show, just thanking you for checking out the Jay Porks Experience. If you want to learn more about Jay, follow him on Twitter at JayPorks. Follow him on Instagram at JayPorks. JayPorks.com for the podcast, articles, pictures, you name it. There's a running theme here. It's Jay Porks. So for 2015, if you want to support the Dare Podcast Network, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com and click on the Amazon banner, and you will be tipping your cap to the Jay Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here at Dare Network. Thanks for listening, and back to the Jay Porks Experience.
And we're back. Okay. More music. Sticking with music. Sticking with music. The headlines every week, of course, are powered by Annie Quiet. The Melvins have a documentary. Well, they're trying to have a documentary, but they're looking for money. They need your help. There aren't too many bands that have as much notoriety among musicians and fans as the Melvins. More than 30 years into their careers, they've managed to influence multiple generations of contemporaries while still staying consistently busy and putting out quality music. So why doesn't a band with so many different stories and such high regard amongst their peers have a documentary? Well, next year they will, so stop asking. The Colossus of Destiny, a Melvin's Tale, has been bouncing around for a while now. Production of the movie has been ongoing for years, entirely self-financed by the film's creators. Now that release is approaching, however, they need money for editing and animation, with all the general needs that come along with wrapping up and releasing a documentary. With that goal in mind, they've organized and launched a Kickstarter project to gain the cash needed. to finish and release the production. While the band has no part in the donation campaign itself, members of the group, with some close friends and associates, have contributed rewards, such as exclusive t-shirts and posters, to the effort, as well as a wackier options for the biggest donors, like a chance to have a pizza party at some batting cages with drummer Dale Crover. So the Melvins, if you want if you want to see the Colossus of Destiny, head to their Kickstarter. It's up on Antiquiet. I will, I got all the notes for you. If I mention a link, it's going on jporks.com. So you make sure that you check that out when you're listening to the podcast if you want to keep up with everything I'm talking about. We've got new music. Even though it's no longer... New Music Tuesday doesn't start till the summertime. There's a new Local H track called Mansplainer via Diffuser. Local H has a new album coming out, Hey Killer. And, this track I heard, it sounds great. But it's not a bad but. It's big. It's a big track. I'm not used to big tracks from Local H. I don't know, something about it. I want to say big. Maybe it's not big. There's something about it. It has a bit of a it plays to a bigger room. I don't know. I don't know why. It's awesome. It's awesome. I can't wait to hear the rest of the record. See how I said hear and I didn't say illegally download? I don't want to get beat up. I don't want Scott Lucas coming after me. I'm sorry about the Flash again, but it wasn't me. A new Violent Femme song, according to Rolling Stone. And I like how this article is written on Antiquiet. This is by Squirrel. I will read this here. This is probably a new Violent Femme song. According to Rolling Stone, the Violent Femmes recorded an EP's worth of material in Tasmania in December to follow up 2000's Freak Magnet. If that's true, then this track, Love, 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 is likely one of those songs. An alternate theory comes from the idea that if anyone wanted to make the perfect fake 90s era Violent Femme song, it would sound exactly like this. With a snarky nod to a long-forgotten New Kids on the Block single and aggressive twee core, like only the Femmes, well, and Placebo, do with such conviction. I know many of you are thinking that Rolling Stone is a reputable outlet, but wake up, sheeple. So, there's a new Violent Femme song, allegedly. Allegedly. We believe it is. And new music from Creepoid, American Smile. Creepoid's out of Philly. And they rock. What else do we got going on over here? We have Alice in Chains. That's right, folks. Alice in Chains going on tour. Not a heavy tour, but in July, they are going to kick it off in California at the Starlight Theater. And they will be touring, let's go by state, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Cali, Colorado, Oklahoma, Missouri. Good luck, William Duvall. Wisconsin, Ohio, Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky, Connecticut, the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, and Music Fest in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I did say good luck, William Duvall, when I said Missouri. It was humor on the racial tensions in the city. Now, here's the thing. First of all, 8:15. Well, I was about to pick up my phone and look at the calendar. I can't pick up my fucking cell phone because I'll tell you why. My phone charger is a little bit broken. You guys know this iPhone life. So I broke my charger and I bought 3 replacement chargers and none of them work. What in the actual fuck? So the way the wire is placed right now, it's got tinfoil wrapped around. I'm not kidding. I wrapped tinfoil around it, and I have it placed in a certain way so my phone is charging. if I touch it, I'm not going to be able to get it to charge. This is a little bit of my life. This is a little bit of my life that's happening. So anyway, I was going to check to see if August 15th is on a day I can make it. The question is Atlantic City still standing by the time Alice in Chains makes it there August 15th? Because casinos are dropping like dimes, man. Casinos are dropping fast. And tickets are on sale today, now. The band's donating $2 for every pre-sold ticket to a fundraiser in memory of a fan who recently passed away. Damn. The dates mark the first tour for the band since they hit the road back in 2013 and 2014 in support of their latest Grammy-nominated album, The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here, which debuted on the Billboard 200 chart at number 2 and spawned chart-topping hits with Stone and Hollow. In other news, the band's Alice in Chains and Friends Fantasy Football League recently launched its 4th annual charity, partnering with Music for Relief and Music Cares. Proceeds from the auction will help Music for Relief provide protective gear and training for health workers dealing with the Ebola epidemic as part of the Ebola Prevention Initiative. Damn, Alice in Chains are all about, they're helping a bunch of people here. Like, here I thought, oh, cool, I get to see this band perform live. It's not the case. I mean, well, that is the case, but they're going to help several things. They've got a list of things they're going to help. And still disappoints me to see Jerry Cantrell with short hair, I got to tell you. We've lost another soldier. So I wonder what... Right now it's not noon yet here on the East Coast. I was thinking about waiting for DC is going to have a vote. Yep. It's weed, guys. I'm going to talk about weed, so if you don't like it, just you fast forward a little bit. Some congressmen brought a bill introducing it today, and it's the biggest thing that can happen. It would move marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 2 drug, which means it would give doctors the rights to write prescriptions, to recommend. It would end the federal ban on medical marijuana. Because right now, even though states let you do medical marijuana, you can't pay for it on your credit card. You go to Colorado, you can't pay for it on your credit card. Go to Washington, no credit card. So, if medical can hold up, this basically what it does is it's going to allow states to do what they want. Because DC with their legalization kind of backed themselves into a corner. Who's growing pot anywhere outside of California successfully? I mean, they've mastered the indoor grow system in California. That's going to be tough to bring to Washington D.C. But anyway, I doubt this bill's going to pass, so don't worry. Because in other news, rabbits are getting high. So a scientist, the DEA or somebody, I don't know even who it was, says that rabbits are getting high, and because they're getting high, they don't fear their owners, and they're going to mess up the food chain. Okay, now, I thought the food chain worked where the big animal eats the smaller one. Like what? A rabbit's going to confuse the food chain, so he's going to try to go eat a tiger? Good luck. Good luck with that, stoned rabbit. Meanwhile, Think about this for a second. How cute would a stoned rabbit be? Don't you want one? I want one. I want a rabbit, and I want to get that rabbit high. And I want to watch him watch me. That sounds so awesome. Who wouldn't want a stoned rabbit? Guys, my birthday is December 16th. If you want to get me a stoned rabbit, I am in. Because I gotta tell you, every time I surf Instagram, it only furthers the notion that I need a fucking cat. So if I had a stoned rabbit, that would be cute enough. Taking selfies with that. See that on the gram. No filter. What else is happening? Really? Really? Let's see this here. Just a quick thing. Movies like Zoolander and Elf are the reason why I hate you people. Just gonna put that out there. Just planting seeds. Just telling you why I'm such an antisocial individual. And yes, folks. Yes. A-Rod is back. And I know you were waiting for my baseball predictions. Baseball is here. Green grass. I love it. I gotta tell you, when it snows in March, you start believing that climate change is a thing. I don't mean flakes, I mean inches. Because yesterday was almost 60 degrees, and besides, like, where I was walking, there was snow everywhere. Besides, like, the sidewalks and the streets and the paths, because everything was melting away, but snow everywhere in March. And it was like a heat wave yesterday. And I went to the mall, and I copped an awesome jacket. So A-Rod came up. Well, A-Rod came up last week. I was so excited when he was DH'd and he got that, and he hit a single. And he hit a ground rule double the other day, made a play at third. Listen, if A-Rod can hit 280, all right, that might be a little high. If A-Rod can hit 270, if A-Rod can hit 19 homers and play some third and play DH, I'm with it. And I know everybody hates A-Rod, but I got to tell you something, and this is a fact. On the secondhand market, like StubHub and Ticket Exchange, Yankee tickets are up 30% from last year. They're 30% more expensive than the Jeter Farewell Tour year. Why is that, you might ask? Because people want to come boo A-Rod. Love him or hate him, he brings attention. And, people are telling me, how do you feel about the Yankees this year? Jay, I don't know about the Yankees. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs last year. What do you think? Well, I think the same thing I thought last year. I think they're going to win 94 games. I know. I know you think I'm crazy, but I have to assume that these guys are going to be healthy. Last year, everybody went down, and I'm talking everybody. We didn't have A-Rod, didn't have Teixeira, and at the end of the season, we were only about, I think, 2 games out. You got the second wild card, remember? There's 2 wild cards now. You can get in. Ask the San Francisco Giants. They were the second wild card. They went and beat whoever on the road. Nationals, I want to say. The play-in game, then they went off. No, they beat Pittsburgh. They played Pittsburgh in the play-in game. So, I mean, what do you think? Listen, and we didn't do emails because there wasn't many emails. But if we did do emails, the email segment would hopefully in the future be powered by Funky Field Tips. Funky Field Tips, providing a smooth, unique smoking experience to the flower connoisseur, as they say. Emails were light this week, but You know, dude, I mean, if you have any reason to make me believe that the Yankees aren't going to make the playoffs, let me know. I'll shoot you down on the air. It's good. You know what's good about being a Yankee fan is that there are Met fans around, and I will always win. I will always be above them. And I got a text alert from Chase that said, you have a low balance. Your balance is 1266. Don't you mean a high balance? That's high for me. That's like Northern Lights high. And I didn't get to this last week. It was 2 weeks ago. Well, on Sunday I had a rare Sunday work appearance, and I had a table of 20, table of 11, table of 6, table of 4, or at one time I was fucking. To get all my money together, I needed to get a rake out of the back. But a couple of weeks ago, I had this table of teachers. I really hope I didn't tell this story. That would suck if I did. I had this table of teachers that came in late, and I heard them talking, and they were saying, you know, they said, kids these days, can you believe it? Can you believe kids these days? We went to a Sweet 16 the other day, and they were doing drugs. Everybody's doing drugs. I don't believe it. I wanted to go up to that table and say, hey, have you ever been to a fucking party before? What kind of party do you go to? Listen, I'm not saying that kids. Listen, if you walked into the bathroom and there were 16-year-old kids lined up on the bathroom in the sniffing ketamine off the toilet seat, okay, then you have a fair beef. But if you smelled a little bit of marijuana, they're kids. It's a party. When you, at your Sweet 16, did you guys read Bible verses? What did you do at a Sweet 16? When I was 15, my girlfriend was 16. I'm born in December, so I got the late birthday. My girlfriend at the time, and her birthday's coming up on March 24th, actually. I'm ahead of it with the obnoxious Facebook post. Sorry, I'm a crackhead. What kind of parties have these people been to? When I was 16, when I was 15, my girlfriend at the time was turning 16, and the idea was we took a limo to Mars 2112. Mars 2112 is a restaurant in the city, or it was a restaurant in the city. I don't think it is anymore. We got so drunk in the car. There was about, I think, 10 of us. All of my friends, my girlfriend, her friends. We were drinking, I'll never forget it, 99 bananas. And 99 apples. That shit is gross. Okay? That shit is fucking disgusting. That was one of the best nights. It was one of the best nights driving there. Because the cab drivers there, we are sparking blunts. We are drinking. We were listening to music. Somebody brought some Big L. I remember Big L was involved. Somebody had pills. I wasn't, into them right then and there. Not till a later date. We were having so much fun getting wasted then. We got to Mars 2112. We fell out of the fucking limo. And they wouldn't let us in. They pretended to be closed. We didn't even know what was going on anymore. So we went to a fucking McDonald's. We got out of a limo. We took a limo to the city to McDonald's. And we ate. Which, by the way, when you have a night of drinking 80 proof liquor, you don't want to eat fast food right then. That's not something you want to do. Because then it's going to result in your girlfriend's puking on you. Which is what happened. I'm looking across, my friend Chach has his girlfriend passed out on his lap. He's been thrown up on. I think that this is the funniest thing to ever happen. I am laughing. My girlfriend is passed out on my lap. I'm laughing so hard. I get thrown up on. Now I'm getting laughed at. Man. I got home at about 2:30 in the morning, and I remember I remember climbing into the bed and just praying to God that I didn't Jimi Hendrix myself and throw up in my sleep and die because I wanted to live to see another day. But funny story about that, the limo driver, when we went into McDonald's, stole my blunts out of my jacket pocket, you fucking creep. So he brings the blunts and he found some pills allegedly, and he brings them to my girlfriend's mom's house, after the night. And he says, listen, these kids, look what I found. I found these drugs. And my girlfriend's mom goes, yeah, it's a party. Damn right it was. You are damn right it was. See? Now, that woman isn't saying, oh, I want my daughter to do drugs. But at the same time, at somebody's birthday party, if it ain't heroin, you overlook it. If it's not ketamine, this is before Percocet wasn't even around back then. 15 was my best year. 15 turning 16, so that would be 2001. No, 2002. Yeah, 2002 was amazing. 2001, 2002, probably my best years. I had so much fun. The only problem is that I was fat. I wish I could do it again skinny. That'd be amazing. And you know what I figured out? No matter how long I go on this podcast, somehow it is not going to be over an hour, because I never ever can get over an hour. Even when I think that I've gone over an hour, I haven't. It's a party. Those people have never, like, these fucking teachers. I love and by love I mean loathe, I hate the people who forget what it was like to be a child. Honestly, people like my mom. Like, when I leave the house and, where are you going? Why don't you see no evil, hear no evil? I mean, you remember what it was like to be a kid. So don't ask me what I'm doing. Chances are it's not good. I actually mean now, because she doesn't really give a fuck what I do now. But I mean, like, when I was like 16, I'm going out. Hey, where you going? To do things that weren't as bad as what you were doing when you were 16. Bye. You kidding? Teachers, man. And that teacher owes me a piece of cake, because she got a piece of Mississippi mud cake to go. And customers always fucking do this. They give me change. She gave me a 20. It was $4.36. She gave me a 20. I went and I brought her the change. I didn't take her money. I just broke the 20. Didn't realize that I did that, and she didn't pay me for the fucking cake. So next time I see that fucking teacher, because the kids were doing drugs that are grown on Earth and unaltered. They were doing drugs. Everyone's on drugs. She owes me $4.36. And I really hope she doesn't say that she included it in the bill, because their bill was $86 and they left a $100 bill. They barely doubled the tax. So if the $4.36 was included in that, boy, you people suck. You people suck real balls. I understand. And listen, you want to have a thankless profession? I mean, it's not like cops where you can get killed. Like, police have the ultimate thankless position where, yeah, we consider you brave, but not a lot of people appreciate it enough, and they can die at any time on the job. And that's something that people should appreciate. But they don't. And it's the same thing with teachers, but they don't die. So I'm not, a teacher can't get shot by some assailant. So but they are glorified babysitters. But they're glorified babysitters that make money. So they have summers off. I don't feel bad. I can't feel bad for you if you have summers off. can't feel bad for you if you have summers off. Glorified babysitters. Okay. Work awaits. And I want to watch this Congress voting. Okay. So let's get to the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. First of all, there's concertconfessions.com. That's for all your live music, news and reviews, for the fans, by the fans. While you're there, click the Amazon ads because, to be quite honest, you're going to buy stuff anyway. You might as well buy it here. Go to andydeer.com. Yes, that's right. I said andydeer.com because there's a new headquarters for the Deer Network, and it's andydeer.com. Now, the andydeershow.com should still be in effect, but he's got a new fleek-looking site that you should check out, andydeer.com. We got christinarocks.com, 89X Radio. 89xradio.com every Sunday morning. She's got Throwback Alternative. I really, really try to listen whenever I could. But it's tough for me. It's tough for me to get up that early because I wake up and it's like, oh my God, I hate all the people who surround me. Let me go back to sleep. And, finally, of course, the headlines every week are always powered by Antiquiet. Till next week, folks. Whiskey, weed, Warren Zevon. Late.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.